Hi, I'm Adam DeSanctis. Welcome to MBA Asks the Expert, a series where we discuss a timely and important issue with a mortgage industry leader. Today, I'm here with LenderPrice Chief Strategy Officer Paul Orlando for part 3 of our ongoing series with LenderPrice. In parts 1 and 2, we discussed margin pricing engines and artificial intelligence. Today, it's mortgage technology's impact on cost reduction and ROI. Paul, thank you for joining us today.
Glad to be here and looking forward to our discussion today, Adam.
Likewise, so let's jump in. Market conditions are still tough out there, which means efficiency has become more critical than ever for mortgage lenders. In your view, what are the most significant cost and efficiency challenges lenders are facing today, and how can modern technology like LenderPrice help address these issues?
I definitely agree that costs have been increasing, and there was a recent Freddie Mac study that said over the last 3 years, costs have increased approximately 35%. The interesting thing is if you dive deeper into that study, there was a significant difference between the top performers and the bottom performers. The study showed that the top performers were originating at a cost of about $6,900, the middle performers at $1,100 or $11,600, and the bottom performers were at $16,500. So as you said, costs are increasing, but there is a difference in how people do things. So what is it that the top performers are doing that the bottom performers are not? And I think they're focusing a lot on outdated processes and outdated technology in order to look for ways to drive their costs down. Companies need to review their processes from end to end and look for duplicate processes within the systems and look to eliminate them as much as possible. LenderPrice, as a modern pricing engine, is helping to do that by coming in at a lower price point than some of the older systems that are out there. Our systems are able to quickly adapt to the changing market, and we're able to put out new features and functionalities within a very short time, and in some cases we can even deploy them within the same day. Our microservices design helps us in order to be able to create new features and functionality and then be able to deploy those features without impacting anything else in the system. Another good example is new fields can be added within the same day and rules can be written against those so that people can quickly adapt to new products that they want to offer.
That was a great way of breaking it down for us, Paul. I like that. So when evaluating the ROI of a tech investment, what key metrics or outcomes should leadership teams focus on, beyond just that bottom line savings?
Yeah, when you're looking at ROI on a potential product, I think you need to look at both the hard costs and the intangible savings that you're going to get. The hard dollar costs are easy. How much is the new software cost versus the old one? Am I going to be able to sunset the old one quickly? What are my implementation costs? And on the savings side, what process improvements am I going to be benefiting from, and how quickly can I do that? As you continue to look at the intangible items, you can look at different things like, does my pricing engine allow me to deploy new rate changes quickly? In a rising rate environment, you want to be able to make sure that if the market is changing and moving up, that you can deploy new pricing instantaneously. So that way you're not going to be affected by people locking loans with you at those lower prices. Conversely, if rates are dropping, you want to be able to get your prices out there as quick as possible so that you can pull in as much of that new business as possible. One of our applications, our base price solution, allows you to pull in brand new pricing and download it into the system in under 5 minutes. In some cases, other systems are requiring as much as 30 to 60 minutes to be able to do that same thing. Another example would be a point of sale solution. If you're looking at your point of sale solutions, you want to make sure that they're easy to use and they're keeping the client updated as to what's going on. The better experience that client has, the more likely that they're going to refer people to you, and thus you'll be able to increase your overall volume while also doing it at a lower price.
Yeah, I agree with you that it's more than just the bottom line savings, and especially given the volatility in mortgage rates right now and the fact that they're still elevated, but they will come down at some point, hopefully. So adopting new technology is one thing, but realizing its full value is another. How have modern pricing engines such as LenderPrice helped reduce manual errors and improve turnaround times for lenders and loan originators?
So one of the things that companies often do is they buy this new software and it has all sorts of things that it can do for them, but they focus only on one small piece of it, and that's what they deploy. And that's where they're losing out, because there's a lot of other benefits that can be taken advantage of, and those benefits you're already paying for them, so why not take advantage and reduce your total cost of ownership as you're looking at it. And it also will provide a better experience for your clients as you look at using all those new things. LenderPrice, while being a modern product and pricing engine, we have so many more things to offer with inside the system. A perfect example of that is pipeline monitoring. One of the areas where people lose money is that loans change throughout the origination process. If their product and pricing engine is not keeping track of those changes, then there's a chance that they're either going to be closing on an ineligible product, or that the LLPAs could have changed on that product and they didn't realize it. Our pipeline monitoring constantly looks at the application, what's going on, and it'll alert you to the fact that a change has taken place that's going to impact the pricing on the loan. Another tool that we have is something called ALA. AI is one of the hottest topics out there in the marketplace today. And our ALA product, which is Artificial Intelligence Loan Assistant, is something that our originators can use in order to help them figure out what is the best solution for their individual clients. We have different things like near miss evaluations as well as ineligible product evaluation. With that, the loan officer can say, I want this ineligible product. What do I have to do in order to make it a valid product? Our system goes out, looks at their specific guidelines, and comes back and says, these are the changes that you would have to make in order to achieve that. Would you like us to update the search criteria accordingly? We can make those changes, push that data back into their loan origination system, and they're able to get that product that was previously listed as ineligible.
That's very interesting, Paul, and it seems like there's some very useful tools LenderPrice has in its toolkit, no pun intended there. So finally, last question. I've really enjoyed this conversation. Looking ahead, what emerging technologies or capabilities do you believe will be most critical to achieving sustainable growth and that long-term cost efficiency for the mortgage industry?
I think two areas that people are focusing on right now. One is artificial intelligence. What can you do with that? Where can you insert it into your systems? And where can you do that without creating additional risk for the loan origination process? The other is workflow automation. And when you're looking at workflow automation and AI, there's a potential that you could reduce your current manual processes by 80 to 90%. There's several companies out there today that are offering tools that automate this part of the workflow process, where people can utilize data and documents, have the information evaluated by the system, and automatically either clear conditions or create benefits from a post-closing perspective. E-closing is a perfect example of that. E-closing really came in, started to build acceptance during the pandemic. And as a part of that, what you're able to do is you're able to take those documents that are locked down and the data that created them, which is also locked down within your loan origination system, and you're able to compare them without having to have a human do a stare and compare on them. This allows you to quickly figure out if the documents coming in are accurate and if there's any issues that need to be addressed. On the lender price side, we make it easy for our clients to make changes on the fly. If they want to introduce a new product, a feature, or an LLPA, they can go right into the system, make that change, and publish it, and that system is now live for their clients. We also use something called NLP, natural language processing, and this allows anybody to be able to just type a sentence, and the system will take that sentence and turn it into a rule that can be used for their various products. When you invest in companies that focus on making your processes quicker, easier, and more automated, that's where you're going to improve your overall cost of ownership and drive down the cost of origination.
That's a good closing point there, Paul, and you've given our viewers a lot of valuable information today. I appreciate you chatting with me on this important topic. Thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you for having me, and I enjoyed speaking with you as well.